Ari and I both have new songs in it. Stephen Schwartz wrote.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're taking you through all the facts and maybe a few speculations we have so far for Wicked Part 2, or as we now know it, Wicked for Good.
When are you brave enough to pop your own bubble? To actually face the things that you were too scared to face in movie 1.
On December 16th, 2024, Wicked's social media team gave us an early Christmas present, revealing that Wicked Part 2 would actually be called Wicked for Good. As fans of the show know, For Good is one of the final tunes and arguably the beating heart of Elphaba and Glinda's story.
I have been changed for good.
In addition to this name update, the Post also confirmed the film's slated theatrical release date, November 21st, 2025. Yep, that's right, folks. If everything goes to plan, that is a year-long intermission. Given where we left the story, it only makes sense that all our key players should return for Part 2. Indeed, Cynthia, Erivo, and Ariana Grande are back, as are Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Michelle Yeoh, Jeff Goldblum, and Marissa Bodie, among others. We can also expect to see Bowen Yang and Bronwyn James again, and let's just say that Dr. Dillamond, voiced by Peter Dinklage's story, isn't over yet either.
They can take away my job, but I shall continue speaking out! Listen to me! You're not being told the whole story!
Naturally, we can expect to see some new faces too, not to mention more cameos.
Every Austin raise a voice and sing, and sing, and sing.
Part 1 is a veritable who's who of the musical theater world, with countless Broadway and West End stars appearing. If you heard that your favorite star was supposed to be in the movie but couldn't spot them, there's a good chance their cameo is still coming.
The wizard will see you now!
For instance, former West End Elphaba and Glinda, Carrie Ellis and Diane Pilkington, have confirmed that their appearances are yet to come. Now, there's one person who made a brief cameo in Part 1 who is set to play a more significant role in For Good. But first, they need to take a little trip over the rainbow.
Way above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me.
The first look trailer for Wicked Part 1 gives us a sneak peek at Dorothy and her companions, and mirrors some familiar scenes from The Wizard of Oz.
Bring her to me.
We also see her in one of Part 1's earliest shots, holding the witch's broom. In the stage version, she's mostly an off-stage character, briefly appearing as a shadow during the melting scene. So could her role be expanded in the film? Well, on one hand, director John M. Chu didn't want to mess with audiences' perceptions of the character, but inevitably, these two stories must cross paths.
You cursed brat! Look what you've done! I'm melting! Melting! Oh, what a world! What a world! Who would have thought a good little girl like you could destroy my beautiful wickedness?
Still, he's playing coy about how much screen time she'll actually have, if any. As of writing, we also don't know who's been cast in the role, but there's been buzz that it could be Alicia Weir, known for the 2022 movie Matilda the Musical.
Nobody else is gonna put it right for me. Nobody but me is gonna change my story. Sometimes you have to be a little bit naughty.
Okay, so we know that elements from The Wizard of Oz will probably pop up, but what else can we expect? Chu noted,
If movie 1's about choices, movie 2's about consequences.
at the end of the last story, Elphaba rejects the wizard's regime and heads to the western skies, while Glinda stays behind. Act 2 will explore how their choices impact their lives and relationships.
I really hope you get it, and you don't live to regret it. I hope you're happy in the end.
We'll also likely see more development in the complex love web between Elphaba, Fiyero, Glinda, Bach, and Nessarose, and how that leads to the latter stepping into her role as the Wicked Witch of the East. As in the show, we imagine For Good will bring us full circle to where this whole story began.
Yes, the Wicked Witch of the West is dead.
As we saw in Part 1, the story mostly stayed true to the original, but added depth through new scenes and dialogue. Since Part 2 is titled For Good, we can assume the song's themes will play a big role in the plot.
And now whatever way our stories end, though you have rewritten mine by being my friend.
Chu hinted hinted that a montage of the friends together, filmed for Part 1 but ultimately unused, could appear in Part 2. Glimpses of it were spotted in the teaser trailer and other promotional media. The teaser also shows Elphaba encountering yellow bricks, referencing the yellow brick road she and Glenda helped design.
Wait, just go back one, please.
The yellow relay?
Yes. It just says road to me.
There's even a shot many think is from Glenda's wedding, but it's probably not what it seems, so we're curious to see what that's all about. Part 1 made some pretty interesting changes from the stage version.
Absolutely remarkable. Once you learn to harness your emotion, the sky's the limit.
They added new characters, expanded on some of the ones we already know, and even brought back a couple from Gregory Maguire's novel. They also expanded on scenes like Madame Morrible's sorcery classes and Elphaba's childhood.
Elphaba Frog! What have you done this time? Okay, that's okay, come to Daddy. And now you've made your sister cry.
Some storylines were completely rewritten, like how Elphaba gets into Shiz and her first meeting with Fiyero. Several of the musical numbers received a makeover too, including Something Bad, Popular, Defying Gravity, and, of course, One Short Day.
So let her set down all our magic in a strange and secret language in a book. The Grimoire.
Chu shared that for Part 1, they worked backward from the end to see which moments they could really dig into, giving a better look at what motivates the characters' actions.
Someone told me lately, everyone deserves a chance to fly.
It looks like Part 2 will have a similar approach. Perhaps they'll pull more from The Wizard of Oz to help expand the story, working backward from For Good to figure out how everything leads to that point. Marissa Bodie, who plays Nessa Rose, also mentioned that a key scene with her silver slippers has been reimagined from a less ableist perspective. One of the reasons they decided to split Wicked into 2 parts is not just that anything after Defying Gravity would feel like a letdown. It also lets them tell a complete story without cutting off the stuff that fans really love, like Stephen Schwartz's amazing soundtrack. Just like all the songs from Act 1 made it into the first film, we're expecting For Good to do the same. Chu hinted that the film will include The Wicked Witch of the East, which was omitted from the original Broadway soundtrack because, well, it's essentially one big spoiler. In Part 1, the closest we get to new music was an extended version of One Short Day. But now it's confirmed that there will be 2 new songs in the next part. Erivo, who plays Elphaba, mentioned on Variety's Award Circuit podcast that she worked with Schwartz on a new song for her character. She didn't reveal too much, but she said, quote, "When we filmed it, the entire crew was in tears. I hope audiences are ready. It's a song that really captures who Elphaba is."
So Ari and I both have new songs in it. Stephen Schwartz wrote 2 new songs and we did some collaboration on it. So we're definitely singing in it, yes.
Grande also shared that Glenda will have a brand new song that she called, quote, "a pivotal moment in Glenda's journey." Apparently, we'll explore more of her transition from that girl who watched her friend fly away to becoming Glenda the Good.
Getting your dreams, it's strange, but it seems a little, well, complicated.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Although the film has been divided into 2 parts, production for both was carried out simultaneously. Chu expressed his intention to move through post-production as if it were one long, continuous film, ensuring that each scene in the first part had a clear purpose for the second part.
When you start to look at it, you're either taking out all these songs and then it's no longer Wicked, or you're skipping through plot points which don't make sense in a movie.
However, this doesn't mean he can't still make adjustments. It has been reported that he took a break from editing leading up to and during the release of Part 1, but he returned to it shortly afterward, leaving us wondering what changes might be made.
I'll just say beautiful new songs that Stephen wrote for the second movie that really open up
aspects of the plot and aspects of the characters and expand and explore more. And we just wouldn't have had time, for that.
Yeah.
He also hinted at a darker tone for part 2, calling it a doozy, and encouraging everyone to watch both parts in succession, saying, quote, "It is so fun. It's great. I'm excited for everyone to do it."
I've already been silenced by Universal. I'm not allowed to say too much, but I love it. We weren't going to call it for good. We were going to call it We Have the Goods.
What are you hoping to see in Wicked for good? Let us know in the comments.
Anyway, it's really good. You'll love it.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.